Did you know that a homeless man changed the fate of World War II by eating rat poison? Let's take a look at this amazing story. In 1943, at the height of World War II, British intelligence requested a list of plans to defeat the Germans. The person who prepared the list was none other than Ian Fleming, the creator of the James Bond books after the war. Item 28 of this list, which included 54 different ideas, caught the attention of British intelligence. It was a plan to allow the Germans to find false intelligence information on the corpse of a British soldier. And Fleming made a note, a suggestion, not a very nice one. Strangely, Fleming had gotten the idea from a forgotten book by another British writer, Basil Thomson. The idea was approved by the Double Cross Committee and preparations began. First of all, rather than having the Germans find the body directly, they chose to have the Spanish find the body, because they knew that Franco's Spain had given the information to the Germans. So it was decided that the victim would be a British sailor who had drowned after a plane crash. Then a suitable, undeformed body had to be found, and strangely enough, this was quite difficult. But eventually a homeless man, Glyndwr Michael, who had starved to death eating rat poison, was found. Immediately, Michael's name was changed to William Martin, and he was promoted from homelessness to major. Then came the small details. In Martin's pockets were placed cigarettes, an identity card, various bills, a photograph of his fiancée Pam, a receipt for her engagement ring, tickets to the theatre they had attended together, a letter from his father, etc., all written in indelible ink. The plan was extremely detailed. For example, Pam, Martin's fiancée, was a clerk in MY5, or that the letter from Martin's father had been sent from the Mould Hotel, and that the hotel had indeed opened a register in Martin's father's name. And all this junk was accompanied by important documents. The most important of these documents was a letter sent by General Sir Archibald Nye, Vice Chairman of the Imperial Defence Committee, to General Harold Alexander. The letter talked about keeping German attention on Sicily and the attack on Greece in the meantime. Another letter contained a situation briefing and a bad joke about sardines, which was carefully chosen to add to the realism. Finally, everything was complete. The body was put on a submarine and left on the shores of the Spanish city of Huelva. Huelva was chosen for various reasons. They were afraid that the rat poison would show up in the autopsy, and they hoped that the doctor in this small city would not recognize it. The current was favorable for dragging the body ashore. The local authorities were pro-German, and above all, there was a German consulate in the city. Body was found by fishermen. The British consulate was notified. The consul refused to perform an autopsy on the grounds that the body smelled, and the William Martin was buried with military honors. The briefcase found on Major Martin's body was detained for a while, and eventually handed over to the consulate, which sent it to London. The letters were examined, and it was found that the envelopes had been removed and read without breaking them. Soon the Germans began to mass their troops in Greece, and when the Allies landed on Sicily in Operation Husky, only 2 German divisions opposed them on the island. In 38 days, the island was completely captured, and Benito Mussolini's regime was overthrown. This is how one homeless man turned the course of a war.